Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Top Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are on a fantastic day from wherever you are around the world. And yes, it is a massively different setup. Yes, I do have a microphone in front of me. It's because I've nicked this man's setup. So, a big thank you to him. He is in the other room across there because we couldn't get it properly sorted out. Anyway, but hopefully, all of you are on a fantastic Friday evening wherever you are around the world. Anyway, George is in saying first as well. Thank you, George, for commenting as well, and Anthony as well. Yeah, thank you for the comment, Ant. Anyway,
I'm saying that Ant Connor. Who's that in my seat?
But as you can see, we are joined by Mr. Jack McKendo TV. Sorry, but Jack, how are you doing, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Thank you very much for having me on. Really do appreciate it. Yeah, and it's going to be a massive game tomorrow. Anticipation is building, and we just want the season to really start, don't we, Mason? Yeah, no bigger test really in terms of the Premier League and playing against Manchester City.
Exactly, and I think, look, again, guys, pre-season is pretty much done with now. We've got 2 games left, well, technically 3. Of course, Jurgen Klopp confirming that we will play a game behind closed doors. I think after the Fulham game it is. So again, the game's coming thick and fast for Jurgen Klopp's men. Anyway, but we do have some injury news to bring you for, of course, the Community Shield. It is going to be hard to either say Community Shield or Community Shield, Charity Shield in it really. Let's be awfully honest here anyway. But we will move on then to the injury news concerning Mr. Alisson Becker, of course. We all knew that Alisson would be a huge miss, but again, Jack, it's confirmed now that he won't feature in tomorrow's game, which I think is a real shame. But of course, Jurgen did say that he is going to be fit in time for Fulham as well.
Yeah, 100%. We don't want to be rushing back, do we, mate? We've seen it with certain other players over the years. We've rushed them back, and they sustained even more worse injuries. And we know how important Alisson was and has been over the last couple of seasons at Liverpool. So ideally, you would have liked to have seen Kelleher come in, but I think Adrian, I know everyone's got different views on Adrian, but we just got to get behind him anyway, and I'm pretty sure he'll put in a great performance tomorrow, hopefully. And if he does, then it'd be great for the football club to. I know it's a lot of people don't class it as an important trophy, but it's a trophy that Liverpool have won over their history, 130-year history, quite a couple of times anyway. And obviously we haven't won it since 2006, so I think it should be just great. It's a good feel-good factor. Get you into the rhythm a bit more in terms of the mentality as well. I know the players, as us as fans, probably don't see it as too much, but obviously the players are players. They'll have aspirations, and they'll look at it's still, and class it still quite rightly as another trophy to put in the cabinet anyway. And it just sets you up really well. Even if Liverpool don't get the results, as Jurgen Klopp, as you said, Con, and everyone, we've seen his comments in the press conference this week. It's important just to get a bit more rhythm, and I think obviously Liverpool will be playing Aston Villa in a behind closed doors game as well after the Strasbourg game. So we'll be playing more or less 3 games in the space of a very close proximity, really. But yeah, I'm excited just to see how Liverpool and City will be lining up, really. Obviously, with the signing of Núñez, will he be starting? We'll speak about that tonight, mate. But obviously, Haaland, him adapting to another league, another team as well. Don't think he'll have any issues, but I'm just really excited to see both of them in the Premier League and really how well they do adapt their game to the English football.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And it is that fact, isn't it? We can all look at Liverpool. We all know what Liverpool can bring and can offer, I would say, to this game. But again, you look at the opposition, you look at Manchester City. Again, a lot of business done in this window, I would say, a lot of rotation. Certainly, at the forward of the pitch, me and you speaking earlier on, of course, Cucurella from Brighton as well, and that whole drama at the moment with, of course, him requesting, making a transfer request at the moment to Brighton, of course, them looking as well for a new striker, as well, to potentially replace the likes of, Bernardo Silva if he does go, well, more forward than really. But, if Bernardo Silva was to leave, of course, Sterling's already gone. I don't think Mahrez is. I think Mahrez tied down a new deal as well for City. But again, for me, City are awfully relying on Erling Haaland becoming amazing. We all know Erling Haaland is going to be good in the Premier League. We all know, he's got the talent. We've seen it firsthand in the Champions League and so on. But I feel like, this whole comparison when it comes to Darwin Núñez and Erling Haaland, I think Liverpool are a bit more lenient, I would say, a little bit, in the fact that we've got Roberto Firmino, we've got Jota when he's back and fit and available. For Manchester City, in my opinion, they're hoping that Haaland can hit the ground running, straight away. And if he doesn't, that's going to cost City potentially points in the Premier League, and even a bit worse than that as well. But how would you make of Pep Guardiola's thinking going ahead to the season? Because it is a mixture, isn't it? I would say so anyway.
Yeah, the emergence of Sterling going to Chelsea, massive signing for Chelsea. As much as we dislike Sterling for the way in which he moved, but got to respect the lad. He won the Premier League 4 times. He done what he wanted to achieve. I know he wants to win the Champions League as a player, but I think if he does continue developing over the next couple of years, whether that be at Chelsea or another club, if he moves post Chelsea, he could still win the Champions League. He's a very good player. Yeah, it's Núñez and Haaland, two completely very different players. Obviously, a lot of people, quite rightly so, putting Haaland and Mbappe in the same bracket because we've seen those two emerge over the last couple of years, especially in European football, playing at a high level. Núñez, he's a long way off that, but I think what you're buying with Núñez is the raw potential and the opportunity, because if Liverpool were, in a couple of years, passed up the opportunity where Núñez, we could have signed him, but we let him go to a Dortmund or something, and then he'd become good in 2, 3, 4 years' time. And you're like, whoa. There's a lot of risk in every single signing, but I've got a lot of confidence in him. I come out the ground in the second leg with you, Connor, and a message you said, just keep an eye on this, lads. Whoever signs him is going to have a very good player on their hands. But yeah, Jack Grealish, I think he's going to have a very good season this year, replacing. When you look at City's players over the last couple of years, their second season has always been probably much improved. If you look at Sterling, Bernardo Silva, Mahrez as well through the seasons, that has progressed over the years. They've got better, and Grealish will be getting better. The link-up play between him and Haaland, I know they've only played 2 pre-season games, but you can understand the in-game intelligence from both of them. Mahrez as well, Bernardo Silva, and just Kevin De Bruyne feeding Erling Haaland and Grealish and Mahrez. If you got Kevin De Bruyne in your team, Haaland will be gobbling up the chances and hoping that Núñez as well. Both players will be getting half. They have opportunities to score hat-tricks in every single game. That's one thing that Liverpool, we've seen in Champions League. We had a number 9, just someone in the box that could put away 1 or 2 of the chances within a game. That's what we were missing last year, and that's what we've missed in a couple of seasons, where Sadio Mane done a great job, but he's not a natural number 9, someone that goes through the middle. Bobby's not an out-and-out number 9, he's a more creative false 9. Jota, he's probably only that. Before we brought in Núñez, was that him and Salah were those players that got you the goals, and Mane as well. But Diaz, we haven't even mentioned Luis Diaz. He's going to have a lot more time to develop, and yeah, it's exciting times, mate. There's going to be goals from Liverpool and City. Hopefully tomorrow from more Liverpool goals. But I tell you what, if Núñez and Haaland did hit the ground running, tell you what, City and Liverpool will be absolutely frightening yet again if they can add more goals to their game.
Yeah, 100%. Again, it's frightening, isn't it? I think when people turn around and go, "Oh, Spurs and Chelsea can get in between these two," I'm like, no. That like Liverpool and City have put just everyone to smoke over the last 5 years, 6 years.
Requires like massive injuries, Con and Chat as well, doesn't it? You're heavily reliant on injuries, like depleting both Liverpool and City. That happened with Liverpool with the centre backs a couple of years, but Liverpool's squad depth at the back is much improved.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, of course, says, Con, can you please address Klopp's moaning at fixtures? I've put up with it for a while now, but he keeps doing it. Every club pretty much has a go, though. I know he's a humanist, but I think, again, to be fair, mate, I think the changes for next month, I think 5 games have got changed. Again, and I think we have about 2 or 3 past 12 games. I think it's 2. And plus we end up playing, of course, I think Monday night fixtures as well and Champions League in that period as well. Which, of course, Klopp's going to complain about that, isn't he? It's always been an annoyance of Klopp, the fact that, they've had to, have fixtures, so close together, and that.
Yeah, he says that, Con and Chat, doesn't he, Rob, as well. Every elite manager says it, mate. I know all the rival fans use that as a stick to beat Klopp with and say, oh, he's moaning again. But if they were in the position of where Liverpool or City or a top team that their club was, that were playing every single game, Ferguson used to do it. We all grew up on listening to Ferguson. Half the time you'd be like, what are you saying? But he said it to defenders. Yes. Outside ears, it sounds like what are you chatting? But from internally to the club as Liverpool and City as well, half the stuff Pep says on a similar level to Klopp. Both of them do moan, but it's only to a state of trying to protect. Everything that Klopp has moaned about over the last couple of years, surprise, surprise, the rules have been changed. And Klopp says something for a reason. And he's all for more game space between games. But obviously this year there's a very weird year in terms of the World Cup. All the games are crammed in and it's going to be absolute carnage, not just for Liverpool or City, but all the Premier League teams and all the teams around Europe, especially with a team that is heavily depleted through injury in the World Cup. It's going to cause absolute carnage.
Yeah, no, it is 100%. And again, like you say though, it's the fact that 5 substitution rule is going to be huge. Klopp knew it. Those teams that wanted to block it, and then of course Klopp got it right, and then the rest of the Premier League's got it right as well. Chris has said, "Why is Connor's name banner below got Jack's name?" I have just seen it and I have just removed it. It's because Jack's taking over the stream. Now, to be fair, I am at his house.
Oh, he's robbing me setup and he's robbing me name now. He's boys. Well,
don't worry, Jack's live at 10. Right, I'm going to be in control, so I am now Jack McKendo now. So there you go.
QD Captain Phillips. I'm the captain now.
Oh, for God's sake. Barney had a nice habit of stepping up in big games. We cannot expect that from Núñez straight away. Hopefully, he gets off to a good start. You'd hope so. Of course, you bloody hope so. Jack talking to himself now, says Mark, as well. Anyway, yeah, Jack is fully taking over the stream. No, to be fair, anyway. But we'll talk a little bit about this guy then. Of course, Mr. Darwin Núñez. And it does come into a little bit of effect of, of course, starting 11 predictions. And guys, let us know your thoughts in the chat as well, down below, because it's a bit of an interesting one, Jack, isn't it? Because I think we definitely saw, the best 11 towards the end of the Salzburg game. What Jurgen Klopp thought would have been, the best 11 to face City in the Community Shield. But again, no Darwin Núñez in that. He did start the first half, of course, but in the press conference later on, he did go on to say that if Darwin had been in those tight positions, if Darwin had been in those opportunities that some of the Liverpool players were in, he thought Liverpool would have scored plenty of goals in that. We saw, of course, against Leipzig when he had the opportunities, he scored 4 goals. So, but do you think that, even, going into the starting 11, and guys, let us know your starting 11s as well in the comments, but do you think that Núñez starts this game potentially, but, just to see what he can do against Manchester City?
Yeah, for me, I was speaking to Mick and Dave before on Dave's show. And I think for me, and I think we all of us have the same idea of, we think Bobby potentially would start. Obviously, that's, as you mentioned there, Connor, and we all see in the second half team. I think that was more or less a signal to see what team would be playing against Manchester City. But it wouldn't surprise me. I'd love nothing more to see Núñez start. But it's a big occasion as well. You can trust Bobby, especially Bobby's fit as well. We all know his qualities as well, and especially against Manchester City, he's so good in terms of pressing their centre halves and pulling defenders left, right, and centre. So it wouldn't surprise me. And even if we do need him, there's a shout for Naby Keita as well. He played against City in the semi-final in the FA Cup, didn't he? And he played absolutely phenomenal in that first 45 minutes. So it wouldn't surprise me if Naby gets thrown in there if he's fully fit. It wouldn't surprise me if Jurgen throws a spanner in the works in terms of putting him in, or even a Harvey Elliott as well. So it's great that we've got all these options, but I foresee Bobby leading the line. I personally would start Bobby and then bring Núñez off the bench. And if it isn't going the best for Liverpool, then obviously you've got that option to come off the bench. What a player to bring on.
No, absolutely, 100%. And it is that for me as well. Guys, I think obviously we'd like Alisson to start, but of course Adrian's going to play in goal. But for me, I think it is those three positions, isn't it? It's the position alongside Virgil van Dijk who starts there, because of course we've seen Ibu Konate play the majority of preseason, I would say, so far, alongside Virgil van Dijk. And of course, against Salzburg, we saw Joel Matip. And of course, as Jack mentioned, that midfield, that right-hand side of the midfield. Of course, you've got Naby Keita, Harvey Elliott could play there. Fabio Carvalho could even play there if he really wanted to. And that Jordan Henderson, of course. So there's plenty of options there. And of course, with Roberto Firmino as well, I probably would agree. I think he does start the game tomorrow. I'd love Darwin to start and to see what he could do, in a Liverpool main 11, because I don't think he's had that yet. I know that he had the little bit of, Trent and Robbo for those 10 minutes against Leipzig, but he hasn't had, the full-on Liverpool 11 yet in a competitive game. Maybe we might see that against Strasbourg as well on Sunday. I doubt it, though, especially if it goes to, extra time and penalties. If it does do it anyway, I think it goes straight to pens, then, full time.
Yeah. I was going to say, Connor and Chat as well, get your centre halves in. So it'll be interesting. We see Matip and Virgil van Dijk lead the line in the second half, didn't we? But Ibu Konate potentially to deal with Haaland's pace if he is starting. But Matip's Matip. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he pockets Erling Haaland tomorrow. It'd just be a typical Joel Matip thing to do. Here's us being concerned about Haaland's pace. Matip will probably be 5 steps ahead of Haaland tomorrow, and probably might be proven wrong. And Haaland just steamrolls him, but we've got options, especially going into this season. It's fantastic, isn't it? Any type of player, but when you look at the players that Matip has started against, obviously Erling Haaland as well, Benzema in the past as well. I know Ibu did play against Karim Benzema, but I think that was probably mainly due to the pace in which Vinicius Junior did offer down that left. So I think it will go with Joel Matip tomorrow, but I don't know how you feel, Colin Chas.
For me personally, I go Ibu. I think you mentioned it there. I think. Yeah, well, Bright said. I think the majority of the chat just scanning through it a little bit. Everyone is pretty much going with, Konate and Van Dijk. Even Gary's gone. Bobby starts Konate and Van Dijk. And for me, I would agree. I think that Champions League final, Konate fully deserves to play now for the start of the season. I think as well, of course, we've forgotten about one man in particular, Joe Gomez as well, getting the new number 2 jersey today, which again, why? Like, Liverpool finally have a number 2 since Nathaniel Klein, but why was it Joe Gomez? Who knows? But of course, if anyone did have Gomez 12 on the back of your shirt, fuming right now at Liverpool retail. Anyway, but it is that a little bit where, look, Liverpool, it is literally Virgil van Dijk, and I think we're happy with whoever else goes there. But I would say, it could be Matip, could be Gomez, could be Konate, and I think we pretty much go, okay, sound. You know, we're pretty much happy with whoever. Which, of course, we in other times we wouldn't be like that. We'd be like, for Christ's sake, why on earth are we playing, you know, this person there and this person there? But I think again, and chat, let us know as well your thoughts on, you know, the middle three as well. You know, I think that, you know, Chris has gone Adrian, Trent, Canate, Van Dijk, Robbo, Fabinho, Henderson, Thiago. He's gone with Salah, Nunes, Diaz as well. You know, that front three looks very scary, doesn't it? Hopefully it starts tomorrow. Anyway, it is at 5 o'clock as well tomorrow. If anyone is wondering, at the King Power Stadium. Don't know why. I know people will say the Women's Euros, but again, you can play 2 games in 2 days at Wembley. Don't know why. But we will play a weekend team versus Strasbourg, surely. Yeah, I think it will be a weekend team, to be fair. Bobby starts tomorrow, Kante and Van Dijk. Yeah, be mostly subs and kids as well, says Mark. Absolutely. If we win the Community Shield, then nice. If we don't, I won't lose sleep over it. If we win it, it will look like the best 50p that we've ever won ever. If we lose it, it's crap. Simple as.
Be great to have some like your Scrannon or something. I was gonna say you put Mackies, but anyone that empties the Mackies onto the plate. These serious questions.
I think that's a very wrong thing to say.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the right thing to say. Oh yeah, we're just gonna empty a Mackies on a freaking massive 50p.
I've done that in the past, and it's caused World War. That's caused absolute carnage.
To be fair, I've just watched Jack, you know, put like, do you like what a psychopath and get like a ton of sauce and just go like this all over the plate? I've just watched that, so that's a psychopath thing, to be fair. Big up for Cobb and Jack as well. Hello, Jordan. Gomez to the first of his team sheet. Elliot, Fabinho, and Thiago, says Gary as well. I thought it was Sunday. No, the Strasbourg game is on Sunday, and the Community Shield is tomorrow. Brian, anyway. No, tomorrow, 5 o'clock kickoff. Jack, you live tomorrow?
Yes. We'll be doing a live stream, Jordan, and chat as well. Me and Connor probably be downstairs. Won't be the usual green screen, but you can see us nutters go absolutely mad when Nunes bangs in an hat-trick, boys. Get it?
Yeah, 100%. We're gonna go absolutely mental as well, and I head over to Jack's channel as well at 10 o'clock. He is live with maybe myself. We might see. And
you're in the house, lad. You better be.
I might go hiding for a couple of hours. You know, it will definitely be me anyway, and Ricky as well. I think from the 1892. Then Strasbourg on Sunday at 7 p.m. Yes, it is at 7 p.m. Anyway, I'd fully expect to see Jack, the likes of Calvin Ramsey, maybe Ali as well, maybe. But I think Klopp's already gone no on terms of that. But you know, Calvin Ramsey, we haven't seen any of him yet. Maybe even Darwin we might see on Sunday as well. You know, again, I think whoever doesn't play in the Community Shield, who doesn't get big minutes, will get big minutes against Strasbourg anyway. But well, we'll move on then to as marked as 7:30 kickoff anyway. We'll move on to score prediction then. And guys, let us know your thoughts in the chat down below. For me, Jack, I'm going for 2-1 after extra time. But I think never mind, it goes straight to penalties, doesn't it? Never mind, I'm just going to go 2-1.
I'm going to go penalties, Liverpool winning, hopefully. Because obviously both teams, it wouldn't surprise me. We play in quite a frantic nature, Liverpool and City anyway. It's always a good game. Even if we were playing a 5-a-side, it'd be tremendous to watch. But yeah, I'm going to go penalties, mate. I'm going to go 1-1 Liverpool. I think Haaland might get one. And Salah probably getting a goal as always. But yeah, no, whatever result happens, happy days.
Yeah, absolutely. Gary's gone 3-0 Liverpool, 1-1. We've been there on pens, be nice. You know, winning on penalties again at Wembley. Of course, it'll be the first time since 2006 since Liverpool last won the Community Shield. So, if you guys remember, of course, I think it was a 2-0 win against Chelsea, Jan Arisa at the Millennium Stadium in good old Wales. So, again, I wish it was back.
Like that was like yesterday. It's crazy, man. I remember what. Well, yeah, it's good that you can actually watch. That's why I like Community Shield. You can watch it on telly and it's free to air. Like, not everyone's got access to obviously Sky and Virgin, and that's what I love. I wish there was more opportunities for people to watch footy, just in general. Anyway, it's one thing that really does get on me, do me head in, really.
Well, it's that thing, in it. It's like, again, we live in England and we can't win and we can't watch Premier League football unless it's on Sky or BT. Ridiculous.
It's when you've got like pictures at 3 p.m. and there's not even one on telly. You're like, what are you doing? Like, it's stupid.
I've just seen Mark's comment. City got any injuries? I'm double checking right now.
Mark, I was on with Dave when like potentially Laporte chat. I'm not 100% on that. I might be wrong. But apparently Laporte, we spoke about Laporte. I think he's the only injury concern, really.
Yeah, for Liverpool, it's Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, of course. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Alisson Becker, Calvin Ramsey, Diogo Jota, Tsimikas, and Kelleher for Liverpool. And then for Manchester City, it says ligament damage, so might be a bit of a bad injury. It says early August, so again, I think it's probably something of nothing. But yeah, Laporte is 50.
Ox.
Yeah, Ox is injured. Yeah, he's got a hamstring problem, hasn't he?
Yeah, who's got the ligament injury? Sorry.
Laporte.
Oh yeah, no, I think I seen something like an article this week. He was out until like late September or something stupid.
Yeah, so hopefully, well, not hopefully, of course, I don't want anyone to get injured, but again, a big injury for City, I would say. Anyway, of course, John going with Liverpool win on penalties again for me. 3-0 says Jordan. Jordan's also gone Adrian, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson, Henderson, Fabinho, Thiago, Salah, Firmino, and Diaz as well. John's gone for the 3 p.m. Blackout needs to be put in the bin. Absolutely. Mark's gone, yeah, and thanks, Connor, as well. Anyway, but guys, we are going to leave it there for tonight's show anyway. Big thank you to, of course, the man to my right. Before we do head off anyway, any news on Fabinho? If you're on about contract-wise, no. If you're on about
Jordan's staying.
Yeah.
Don't watch my video. Someone yesterday, and like more or less, it's been dispelled by all like the top-rated journalists as well. And obviously, listen to Jurgen Klopp's interview yesterday. He's massively in the Jurgen Klopp's plans, as expected.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, but Jack, thank you for coming on. Thank you for lending me a setup for at least the day.
Better let me back in.
No, I'll lock the door now. No, exactly. But
bit of like newness running through Man City's defence tomorrow.
Hopefully. But have you got anything else coming up on the channel apart from tonight's show?
Yeah, obviously the 10 p.m. show tonight, mate, and everyone. And we will be doing a live stream tomorrow. We'll have that man to my left or your left, my right there. And yeah, we'll have a match day vlog potentially as well on both channels. Probably get a couple of content filmed and that as well in and around the stadium. But thank you for everyone for tuning in. As always, Con, it's great to see you as well. And if anyone's going to the game tomorrow, just drop us a message on Twitter and we could just say hello to each other again. And probably get you on the channel as well, do a little interview if you'd like to do that. But yeah, enjoy it. Come on. Whatever you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to come on, guys, of course, Strasbourg, either DM myself or Jack, and we'll hopefully try and meet up with a few of you guys. Anyway, for Sunday, just let us know if anyone is going to the Strasbourg game. Anyway, if anyone is going to the Community Shield tomorrow, then of course, please have fun and all that good stuff as well. The start of the season is nearing, and hopefully the Reds can bring a big, massive 50p home anyway to start the season off in a pretty good way and to get one over on Pep and Manchester City anyway. But guys, big thank you to each and every single one of you. If you're new around here, then please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. It does massively help out the algorithm as well. And again, thank you for all the support lately over on the channel as well. But yeah, I will hopefully see you all tomorrow with a post-match reaction. And yeah, I've been Connor from the Cop Council. I'll see you all then, and ta-ra.